We're in Beijing, the vibrant heart of the People's Republic of China. Join us as we go with gusto and see what the nation's capital has to offer.
Beijing is constantly in motion. In a land where emperors once ruled, you now find armies of gig workers zipping through the streets delivering food. Nearly 22 million people call this city home, and with that comes an infrastructure on a scale you can't begin to imagine. There's an order here. It all perfectly hums together with purpose. And that sense of order goes all the way back to one of the largest construction projects in human history.
We're at the Great Wall of China. Believe me, it's pretty great.
Its origins go back nearly 3,000 years, and its sections stretch for more than 13,000 miles. The Great Wall is actually a series of walls built over several centuries and dynasties, cutting across northern China and parts of Mongolia. It's even said you could see this UNESCO World Heritage Site from space. I traveled more than an hour outside Beijing to visit the Tiananmen section. It has fewer crowds, incredible scenery, and somehow a Subway sandwich shop at the base. I climbed through a few towers and soaked in the views. The scale of this living relic was breathtaking. Tiananmen may be ancient, but it still brings the thrills.
I'm taking a cable car up and then I'm going to slide down. That's the plan. Had to do it.
I took an epic 5-minute toboggan ride down. Whee! A great way to end a great day at the Great Wall. Beijing's history runs deep, and nowhere is that clearer than its former seat of power.
We're going into the Forbidden City.
This vast palace complex was home to 24 emperors who ruled ancient China for nearly 500 years. It's called the Forbidden City because it was off limits to most of the population. Only emperors, their families, and select officials were allowed inside. Imperial guardian lions stand watch at the entrances. The female holds a cub under her paw to symbolize prosperity. The male rests his paw on a ball to represent control and authority. Dragon imagery is everywhere. In Chinese culture, dragons aren't monsters. They're symbols of power, protection, and good fortune. The emperor was even called the Son of the Dragon. After the last emperor abdicated in 1912, the palace eventually opened to the public as a museum. Today, the Forbidden City averages more than 40,000 visitors a day. And when closing time hits, the entire crowd moves as one giant wave toward the exit.
Yep.
You start to notice Beijing is arranged in a very intentional pattern, with the Forbidden City at its core. The rest of the city branches out from this line running through the center, echoing harmony and balance. The Temple of Heaven takes that idea even further. Its architecture is built on symmetry and numerology. Round roofs, circular walls, and blue tiles symbolize heaven. The sacred number 9 shows up everywhere, especially in the platforms, each built with 9 steps. And no visit to the Temple of Heaven is complete without a temple-shaped popsicle. I went with the melon flavor.
Heavenly.
The Temple of Heaven was designed to bring the human world and the divine world closer together. Not far from here, the landscape shifts again. The gray brick buildings of the Hutongs reveal a completely different side of Beijing, with their own history and rhythm of daily life. These grids of narrow alleys date back to the 13th century during the Yuan dynasty. Families here have lived in single-story courtyard homes for generations. Many of these neighborhoods are protected as important cultural sites. I found an authentic taste of Beijing by joining a Hutong food tour.
You gotta make a noise when you eat the noodles.
We ate at several delicious local spots I never would have found on my own.
But remember, first we wrap from the left side. Left side middle, and then right side.
The Hutongs give a glimpse of a way of life that has shaped Beijing for centuries. While in Beijing, I wanted to meet one of China's most iconic natives, the panda. Expressive and instantly recognizable, pandas come from the misty mountainous regions of China's southwest. The Panda House at the Beijing Zoo happens to be home to one of the country's most famous giant pandas, Minglan, known for his playful antics. All that attention has Minglan ready for a nap. China loans pandas to other countries. This practice is known as panda diplomacy. Speaking of diplomacy, the Great Hall of the People is a seat of China's legislature. It sits on the western side of Tiananmen Square, directly across from the National Museum of China, home to the country's largest collection of ancient relics and works of art. At the north end of the square is the Gate of Heavenly Peace, which leads into the Forbidden City and features a recognizable portrait of Chairman Mao. As one of the largest public squares on Earth, Tiananmen marks the moment the nation shifted from imperial rule to the founding of the People's Republic in 1949. China continues to evolve. A major turning point came in the 1970s when the country opened to global trade. In the decades that followed, China quickly expanded as a worldwide manufacturing hub. Hundreds of millions migrated from its rural communities into its rapidly growing urban centers. Today, China stands as a market-driven economy directed by a single ruling party and has grown into one of the world's largest economies.
Pretty looking good.
A great example of China reinventing itself is right here.
This is the 798 Art Zone.
In a former state-run industrial complex, you'll now find a vibrant hub of galleries, shops, and cafes. These abandoned factories drew in artists for their natural light and low rents. Now, the district produces a new kind of output, modern Chinese pop culture. And when you work up an appetite and are ready to stuff your quacker, look no further than this place.
We're here at Siji Minfu here in Beijing, here to try some Peking duck.
Perfectly crispy skin, juicy meat, paper-thin pancakes, pure Beijing comfort food. They give you a set of sauces and ingredients to complement your Peking duck as you wrap each bite.
Oh, thank you. They gave me a fork. They saw I wasn't doing so good with these, so they gave me a fork. You can really taste all the flavors and sauces. There's a lot happening. It's really good. The skin is nice and crispy. The meat inside is very tender. So good. Well, I housed a half duck. Beijing, you haven't let me down.
To cap off my night, I headed to the Red Theater for an acrobatic field showcase. This long-running show has received worldwide acclaim. The company I booked through even secured me a front row seat, literally. The performance was an immersive experience packed with storytelling, impressive choreography, and death-defying stunts. There was even a performer stacking chairs higher and higher, bouncing directly in front of me. Talk about edge of your seat excitement. It all culminated with an epic finale, capping off this can't-miss spectacle.
If I had to describe Beijing in one word, the word would be epic. Thanks for joining me on today's journey, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, wherever you go, go with gusto.